somebody's there. Somebody's there. Say, where's my frickin' light? Where's the frickin'... Hey! Oh my goodness, I thought somebody was standing right beside me. Man, I haven't even started the walk yet.
This video from Jar Bear on his channel. Exploring with Bear takes things to a whole new level. Instead of a normal camping trip, he decides to camp in Helltown, a place in Ohio known for all the wrong reasons. Once a real town, Helltown was abandoned and later demolished, with stories of chemical spills, strange disappearances, and even satanic rituals. Locals believe the winding dead-end roads were designed to trap outsiders, and the creepy white church in the center, said to be used by cults who still roam the area at night. There's also the infamous school bus, hidden deep in the woods. According to legend, it was ambushed by Satan worshippers after stopping to help an old woman. Everyone on board was sacrificed, and the bus sat untouched for over 30 years. And then there's Crybaby Bridge. Leave your car there, and when you return, it's covered in dust and tiny footprints. Some even claim to hear a baby crying in the dark. Knowing all this, Jar Bear still went. But by the time he reached the so-called satanic barn, you could hear it in his voice. He was starting to seriously regret it.
Do this. I'm hearing noises all around me already. Is that whistling? This is insane. Oh my goodness, I thought somebody was standing right beside me. Man, I haven't even started the walk yet.
He hadn't even made it far from his truck, and already strange things were happening, things no one should experience alone. He was already uneasy when strange noises started coming from the barn door. After finally reaching the barn, things only got worse. While observing the graffiti on the wall, he suddenly heard footsteps behind him. Then it happened again. Clear, deliberate steps. The most disturbing part? He was completely alone in that barn.
Footsteps. Footsteps just came from up there. Shh, 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 shh. Oh, that's so loud. Shh, shh. There it is again. Oh my goodness. I didn't see anybody up there. There was nobody here. There was nobody here. I feel like I'm gonna puke. No fucking way. Did that just happen? No freaking way. Hello?
Although he approached the area to investigate the sound, Jared didn't stick around for long, just in case things took a turn for the worse.
In my hand, guys. I'm ready. Right now, if I have to be. Hello? I heard you walking up here. What?
On his way back to the truck, Jerry heard another eerie sound, almost like whatever was in the barn had decided to follow him.
Oh. No way. Man, I am hearing crap all around me. That was like a hiss. I don't know if you guys heard it. That was a loud hiss, though. You might have heard that. That might have been something more spiritual. I don't know what would have hissed like that.
Luckily, he made it back to the truck, locked the doors, and tried to get some rest. But sleep didn't come easy. Sometime during the night, someone or something started tugging at the door handle, trying to get in.
Where's the frickin'... Hey! There's a car there. Hold on. Where's my keys? Where's the keys? Somebody was trying to get in the truck.
It became clear he'd been followed. While there was no direct confrontation, Jar kept his gun close for the rest of the night. Thankfully, nothing else happened before morning and he left safely. That place was undeniably haunted, but when it comes to haunted stories, few are as chilling as what happened to Kenny 5. This video was uploaded by Bear with Hat, and it documents a terrifying incident in Keller, Texas. A man was leaving his friend's house when he noticed a suspicious car tailing him. Unsure if he was being followed, he faked an entrance onto the highway, then veered off at the last second. The car mimicked his every move. When he pulled over to see what was going on, so did they. That's when he knew this wasn't random. Without a dash cam, he started recording on his phone, hoping to catch a license plate. The car moved ahead of him, and two people suddenly stepped out. Whether they were coming for him or not, he didn't wait to find out. He hit the gas and escaped just in time, avoiding what could have turned into something far worse. It was already unsettling dealing with a human on a dark road, but this next one is worse. Imagine an encounter with something you can't even see. This video, posted by Scream and Shout, takes place at a driving school in Puchong, Malaysia. Late at night, the building was nearly empty, except for a couple who stopped by to pick up a document. What happened next was anything but routine. The couple was seen wandering through the building before settling in what appeared to be a cafeteria. After chatting for a while, the mood shifted. When the guy tried to make a move, the girl firmly rejected him and attempted to leave. But he wasn't ready to let her go just yet. With the exit blocked, the girl reluctantly sat back down, clearly unwilling to give in. The guy followed and took a seat right behind her. After several attempts to convince her, the guy finally left the cafeteria and headed to another part of the school building. After several attempts to convince her, the guy left the cafeteria and moved to another part of the school building. The CCTV showed him entering an office, approaching a table, and starting to gather the documents they had come for. Suddenly, one of the doors in the room shifted slightly on its own. Alerted but undeterred, he continued packing his things while keeping an eye on the door. Things took a turn for the worse when the computers suddenly powered on by themselves. No one was near them. The guy sensed something was very wrong, but didn't realize he should have left immediately. When he bent down to check, the computers turned off, and as he stood up, they switched back on. Terrified, he finally ran away just as the door slammed shut behind him. Meanwhile, the girl back in the cafeteria wasn't safe either. While scrolling on her phone, one of the heavy chairs suddenly moved without anyone touching it. Panicked, she tried calling the guy, but no one answered. It felt like something in the building was blocking her connection. When she tried calling again, another chair slid toward her, causing her to fall to the floor in shock. The terrifying experience overwhelmed her so much that when she tried to flee, she fainted on the spot. You'd expect the guy to run back to help the girl, but the footage ends without showing where he went. What's more chilling is what came after. A local familiar with the incident later revealed that the woman was left deeply traumatized. She now lives in a psychiatric hospital, unable to recover from what she experienced that night. As for the man, he vanished. No one has seen or heard from him since. To this day, he remains missing. This clip was uploaded by Paranormal Videos on YouTube, and what it captured is truly bizarre. We don't know what happened before the footage began, but it starts with a bunny darting across the frame. And then, a little girl walks out of the house. Moments later, something completely unexplainable appears. 2 legs, jogging down the street. No torso, no body, just legs. Wearing white pants. Why was that child even outside so late at night? Even conspiracy theorists couldn't make sense of it. Imagine being that little girl and seeing a pair of bodiless legs running by. Just imagine that. This next video was uploaded by a man named Jack Stevens, a guy you'd have to call brave. Because while most of us would have packed our bags and bolted, Jack stayed calm and kept the camera rolling. He was spending the night at the famously haunted Biltmore Hotel in Providence, just trying to relax. But things didn't stay quiet for long. Paranormal activity soon made itself known in his room.
It's like 2 in the morning right now. Just been sitting here watching TV. And the door to my bathroom in this room has slammed 2 or 3 times in the last half an hour. So I don't know why it's doing that, but...
The doors in Jack's room began opening and slamming shut on their own. No one near them, no draft, nothing. He claimed it happened like clockwork, every 7 minutes. So he set up his camera to catch it on tape. And sure enough, right on cue. The door slammed shut with a force no breeze could ever explain.
The camera down and try to just let it sit there and wait and catch it when it happens. Did you see that?
Here's another reason Jack earns the brave title. When most people would have bolted out of the room faster than a ghost could whisper, "Boo!" Jack did the unthinkable. He walked toward the door. He wanted to see what was behind it, even though there was nothing visible, at least.
There is nobody in this room except for me. That is the freakiest thing ever. There's nobody back here.
Jack's experience stirred up a storm online, sparking a flood of debates. Some people called it clever editing, just a spooky little show. But a surprising number believed every second of it was real. One viewer even shared a chillingly similar story from that same hotel. And now, we leave the haunted halls behind. Because what's scarier than ghosts? Maybe camping alone in the dark woods. Let's talk about some of the most disturbing camping encounters. A YouTuber named Kenny Vaviv shared a strange encounter in the Las Vegas mountains. He found a cave, later naming it Mave, and claimed it gave off a bizarre energy. The closer he got, the more his body vibrated, like something unnatural was pulling at him.
It's a big cave that looks just like a gigantic M, and it's about as tall as I am and kind of narrow, and it's stuck on the side of a mountain. So I hope I can find it again. And if I do, I'm going in there. I'm gonna put on my light and take my gun out and walk in there, see if I find anything. We'll see.
Kenny's fans didn't believe his story about the cave. They wanted proof on camera. At first, he refused to go back, but eventually, he gave in to the pressure and decided to return, this time with his camera rolling. He spent hours hiking through the canyons, picking pine nuts and enjoying the peaceful scenery, almost like he was trying to delay what was coming. But once he got close to the cave again, everything changed, and that decision to return would become the biggest mistake of his life.
Whatever you want to call them. And they are all over the place. And they're so sweet and delicious. There's flies all over. They're everywhere. They're just laying. It was the perfect time to find them because they're just laying all over.
Kenny never actually showed the cave again, and after that last video, no one heard from him. Authorities who searched only found his phone at the mine where he started filming, nothing else. Months later, his girlfriend, Sherian, revealed a sad truth. Kenny had been battling deep depression for years. He refused medication or therapy, quit his job to try a risky business that failed, and was running out of money. He didn't want to work for anyone anymore, and as his struggles grew, so did his suicidal thoughts. Kenny's dad had also committed suicide in his early 20s, which may have influenced him. Sherian said Kenny once mentioned wanting to disappear in a remote cave or mine where no one could find him. After disappearing for 3 days during one of his hikes, Sherian reported him missing. It's been over 10 years, and what really happened to Kenny 5 remains a mystery. This next video comes from TikTok user Ali, and it's both scary and disturbing. He was home alone. His wife had gone to visit her relatives when he suddenly heard a familiar voice. It sounded exactly like his wife calling out to him, but she wasn't there. That's when he realized whatever was calling him wasn't human. Something in the house was mimicking his wife's voice.
Dave, come downstairs. Dave, come downstairs.
There's no way Emma decided.
Dave, come downstairs.
As if that wasn't enough, the door suddenly began slamming on its own. Despite being a man, Ali was so shocked about what was happening.
What the fuck?
Even viewers who noticed the Ouija board in his room believe he might have been the one who opened the portal for something sinister to enter his home. Just imagine what could have happened if he actually responded to that voice calling his name in his wife's tone. This next video was uploaded by a YouTuber named Daniel on his channel English Woodsman, and it documents a disturbing experience he had while out on a solo bivy bag camping trip. With just his backpack, camera gear, and some instant food, Daniel ventured deep into the woods early in the morning. As he made his way through the brush, he came across a used fireplace, clear evidence that someone had camped there before.
Even over here, this is worse. That tells you a lot, that does there.
After wandering through the woods for a while, Daniel eventually settled down beside a tree to have his lunch.
I like how that changes colour. I really do. But I couldn't justify that colour changing to buy a brand new one.
It was during this short break that things took a turn. Daniel suddenly heard footsteps approaching, slow, deliberate, and far too close for comfort.
Really good. Is that a badger? Hello?
He even tried speaking out, thinking maybe it was another hiker, but no one replied. And worse, he couldn't see anyone at all.
I hope I got that on camera. I really hope I did. Because if I didn't, and I'm showing this, people won't believe that. Just my heart's beating a bit quick there.
Then again, he began hearing a much louder noise. Not just footsteps this time, but rustling, cracking branches. As if a group of people were creeping just beyond the tree line, behind the woods.
That is strange. And that is strange.
Daniel wasn't too shaken at first, still trying to make sense of the earlier footsteps. He figured maybe it was just animals or wind playing tricks. So he didn't leave. He just sat there, quietly slurping his instant noodles. But then, the noise came back, louder, closer. This time, it wasn't just footsteps. It was the sound of something pacing in a circle around him.
There's that noise again now. Hello?
Daniel really should have packed up and headed home right then. But no, he was determined to stick to his plan and camp overnight. As the sun dipped below the trees and the forest grew darker, his confidence began to waver. The noises didn't stop. In fact, they got stranger, like whispers mixed with rustling leaves, and that's when Daniel started to think, maybe this wasn't just in his head.
Right, so this is my equipment, what I'm going to use. I'm just going to set up and get on with night. Air mat, bivvy bag, and then my 200 sleeping bag. I don't need anything too thick tonight, it's not cold at all. And then my trusty pillow, one of the best things I brought for camping, that. I've just heard the noise again, but not as much. I didn't want to turn the camera on, okay?
Although not as loud as during the day, Daniel couldn't take it anymore.
Everything's just telling me no, honestly. I'm actually breaking wind. I'm quite scared, people. I'm not going to pretend I'm not. I am quite scared right now.
Although the noises weren't as loud as earlier, Daniel couldn't take it anymore. He tried to stay in his bivy bag, but soon realized his nerves were too much. Even though he said he didn't care if people called him a wimp, he knew he had to leave. Trusting his instincts, he packed up and left the spot. This story reminds us that sometimes the best choice is to listen to our gut feelings when something doesn't feel right. What would you have done in Daniel's situation? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more creepy and real camping stories.